Really excited to be here. See all of you. There's some good seats available in front. Those of you who are standing in the back. What an amazing time to be in technology. My technology journey started personally with Star Trek. I was a big Star Trek fan. And I was going to boarding school in Delhi. Every Sunday, we used to gather around this little TV and watch Captain Kirk and his merry band, come up with some great technology. It was, you remember the communicator? Like, you could talk to people. The computer would talk back to you and tell you things, assist you in different things. There was a transporter, which we haven't come up with. There were driverless cars. And, actually a lot of that has come true. And I'm humbled and proud to be part of Google as we try to bring great new breakthrough technologies to you, both as users as well as consumers. So, it's a fascinating time for all of us, and it's best represented by how we all use technology in our personal lives. How many of you have the bad habit of checking your email on your phone first thing in the morning? Come on, you gotta fess up. Oh boy. You have to stop. It's really actually very addictive. And this combination of large-scale web services, email, etc., delivered to mobile devices is just the early stages of changing the way computing is occurring. There's a pretty secular shift occurring. And we see that online every day in how people work and how they live. So I want to spend some time with you talking about the biggest trends that are impacting the way we think about products, give you a sense for what are the key product areas that Google is making investment in and why, and then lastly, tell you a little bit about Google Enterprise, which is bringing all these products for you as paid services for businesses. So first, this movement from mobile first to mobile only is well into its journey. Phones, tablets are pretty fundamentally transforming the experience that we all have in our lives. Just in Q2 of this year, the end of the second quarter, the mobility between tablets and phones, the install base of that, will bypass that of the PC. Okay? So there'll be more phones and tablets than all of PCs combined. PCs have been around for 25 years. So fundamentally, the shift is occurring. That's also occurring in certain countries that are bypassing landline infrastructure. So both India and Japan, the mobile internet is substantially larger than the desktop internet. Most people are spending time on their devices, connecting and sharing, collaborating. This came just this past week. My daughter, Meghna, was sitting in her room with her phone, as usual. She's 12. And normally she's texting, but she was sort of very intently looking at this phone. And I asked her what she was doing. And she was reading a book. And she has the Kindle and other things. And it's like, why is it on your phone? And her feedback was, it's always with me. It's always with me. So these devices are incredibly personal, location aware. They have everything, about our agenda for the day. It's got a camera, so you can do things. It can visualize your world for you. And delivering large-scale web services to these mobile devices are transforming the experience that we have in our lives. And that's come true in sales of smartphones. So over 70% of all devices sold this past year was either tablets or mobile. 40% of the time we spend every day is on mobile phones, mobile devices, instead of on the PCs. And that we see that at Google in spades. So especially on the weekend. You wouldn't be surprised that Maps usage is by far dominated on your phone versus your PC. So over 84% of the usage of Google Maps is actually coming from mobility. And on the weekend, that number is close to 100. Same thing with Google Calendar, Gmail, etc. Is we, in our personal lives, when we shop, we go in and look at the price of, how many of you have done this? You look at the price of a product and then you quickly check it on the internet, either using an app or going and doing a search yourself. That's fundamentally changing how people work, and the impact to businesses is very, very high. And lastly, Android activations on a daily basis are now 1.5 million phones and tablets activated. The install base of the official version of Android is now over 900 million phones all over the world. So this movement from mobile first to mobile only is well on its way, and it actually has deep, deep meaning for people like you in business, in IT, in technology, about how you have to deliver and build the next generation of technology platforms. One thing that I wanted to talk about, my original idea was to give each of you Google Glass. Right? Wouldn't you have liked that? Now, unfortunately, we ran into some privacy laws and so on. So instead of doing that, I thought I'll share a video we created on what that experience is truly like. Please roll the video.
Okay, Glass, record a video.
This is it. We're on in 2 minutes.
Okay, Glass, hang out with the Flying Club.
Google photos of tiger heads.
You ready? You ready?
Right there. Okay, Glass, take a picture.
That is awesome.
Okay, Glass, record a video.
After this bridge, first exit.
Stay delicious and Thai. Alroy.
Google jellyfish.
Well, let's see. It's beautiful.
It is truly beautiful and magical, just like Star Trek. But a new generation of devices, wearable devices, devices in different form factors, are actually going to accelerate this movement towards mobility, and it actually has real meaningful impact on how you think and design your next generation of systems. Let's talk a little bit about how things are getting connected and the data that they produce, because that's been something that we care deeply about. I recently ordered a Tesla. It's a beautiful car, and I sort of fell in love with it. It's the first connected car. It has this nice 17-inch screen with live Google Maps on it, so it provides you beautiful turn-by-turn directions and so on. But it's also a connected car. So the car can download over the air a new operating system and actually manage the entire car, take feedback on the different parts of the car and how it's doing and how it's performing, and provide you great information about it. This is just the beginning of how location-based services and connected objects are transforming key industries. You've probably seen advertisements for homes where you can turn off and turn on things like your temperature and measure things. Robotics, General Electric is actually embedding Google Maps inside many of their devices, so you can get a sense for all the different the physical information that's occurring in the world in real time, connected to the internet, including connected to your phone. And this whole idea of the location and knowledge being connected together actually gives rise to a new generation of services. Let me give you a couple of examples. Imagine as you walk into a mall, being given a really nice offer on a particular clothing item that you've been searching for, right on your phone that you can redeem at the local coupon, at the local store. In real time, very personalized, focused on things that you need and you want, delivered at the time of your purchase. Or, for those of you who know what Uber is or have used that service here, physically connected service where you can get a beautiful car service experience, all connected through your phone, location aware. The car comes into you within a few minutes, and the whole experience about transportation fundamentally transforms itself. Or in the case of media, those of you who know Netflix, I don't know if it's available here in Australia. Netflix now has 30 million users in the US, the largest video on demand service. They didn't exist 3-4 years ago. Netflix created a new business model. Because they knew what their customer base was looking for, they designed original programming series called House of Cards, great new series, and they released, based on the patterns they recognized about their users, released all 13 episodes in one time. Because what they realized was people like to binge watch things all in a row very, very quickly. And my wife and I watched it within like a week, so 2 episodes a night. And that kind of insight allowed them to place a bet where they spend $100 million producing this new programming, and fundamentally have altered the dynamics of the video streaming, video on demand industry. So being able to measure, experiment, and build new business models, whether that's retail, where showrooming is having a massive impact on how retailers go to market, or in the case of media, is really creating a very interesting opportunity for us or in IT professionals to innovate. And just like that Star Trek computer that actually helps you before you even know you need help, this movement from a demand-based computing model, where you ask the computer things and then it provides those to you, to a model where you can get assistance or suggestions on how to do things. So for those of you who use Android, we've created a platform called Google Now. And Google Now, since it knows your calendar on your phone, is aware of where you are because of the GPS chip, is going to suggest to you that it's time to leave this meeting now because of traffic, because there's traffic information from Google Maps. And it's time because you'll be late to your next meeting. And based on the traffic, it's actually a pretty good service to have. Or, in the context of business, based on your social network or your social graph, tell you that your client that you were hoping to visit with in a few weeks is one gate over, and maybe you should go and say hello. The possibilities of actually taking technology and making it useful for you before you need it, cognitive computing, it's called many different things, we're just in the early stages of providing platforms that actually make that possible in your business context. The third trend that is really changing and impacting how we think about products is that the way we work is fundamentally different. So you watch your kids and so on. You can see the stats. How many likes per day or how many tweets sent out. Snapchats. There's 150 million pictures in Snapchat sent out on a daily basis. Photos, the killer app. When you see a photo or a video, you're more likely to engage in content versus pure text. We did the experiments to prove that out. And that's dramatically changing the bandwidth of the internet. It's changing the way people engage. And we see this in spades. The average age at Google is about 26 years old. I'm personally raising the age a lot, the average. But what you see is the next generation natives. We are digital. I'm a digital immigrant. I learned technology along the way. But the next digital natives that actually lived in didn't know the internet, didn't know a world without the internet, are coming into the workplace, and what they want from technology is fundamentally different. It's short, fast, visual, and immediacy. At Google, we have a product called Google Plus Hangouts. Some of you might use it. We have 26,000 face-to-face Hangouts on a daily basis, every day. We feel like it's a big part of our culture around collaboration and making people work together. When you see somebody real time on any device anywhere in the world, it actually changes the way you work. And products that we're building really are being impacted by these three trends. The one place that I'm really passionate about and proud of that it's having a massive impact is in education. So we make build a lot of products. We provide them free most of the time for education. And, I've observed some of these kids, actually learning in a classroom, actually watching a YouTube video, collaborating on a homework with another kid. And it's really a magical experience if you haven't seen it. So we, just a few months ago announced that the government of Malaysia, the whole country of Malaysia, is moving to Google Apps. 10 million people, students, educators, etc., and are going to be rolling out Chromebooks that I'm going to tell you about as the one-to-one product that is going to transform their experience and how they get educated. So we have a brief video telling you about what that looks like.
Malaysia has so much to offer. There's so much untapped potential. Just to walk into one of these small villages and look at the eyes of those children in that school, you see that spark, little fire in their eyes. There's this whole world out there that would allow you to experience learning beyond what you ever thought possible.
And a lot of our students don't have internet access. A lot of them were just left behind.
In Malaysia, we place a huge investment in the education of our young children.
We're providing 4G connectivity to all schools across the country. And the fact that we can spread it across 10,000 schools is amazing.
Learning had to be anytime, any place. You didn't have to be in a state-of-the-art classroom, but you could be with a Chromebook sitting in a field and experiencing world-class learning.
It is so exciting to be a part of education in Malaysia today. This power that you place in a child's hand and you say, the web is your school. Go and learn.
So large-scale web services delivered on any device, anywhere in the world, through connectivity that we all now have, is transforming these kids' lives. I think will transform our lives in information technology and business as we move forward. So let me talk about what Google is doing, what we are working on, the products, the investments we're making. Let me start with why we exist. And from our founder's letter, is to actually organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. We have some detours along the way on self-driving cars, but the vast bulk of us work on this mission. And it's focused really on 3 platforms and web services at scale. So Chrome and Android are our 2 access platforms. So one for the web, one for mobile computing. Google's Cloud, so that you can build your applications using our scale and capacity. And then web-based services at scale like Search, YouTube, Google+, Gmail, Docs, Drive, Google Maps, and Google Earth. These are products that all together have billions of users across them. And most of them are touching 1 billion users. And the idea of building these web services at scale and these access platforms is to give you the tools that allows you to go to this next generation of computing. We talked enough about Android. Let me spend a few minutes on each of these areas. So first, Chrome. Thank you for those who use it. It's now the most popular browser in the world. It's built around a couple of very basic ideas. Speed. It's faster than anything else out there. It's highly secure. And it's very simple. It's just the Chrome. Everything else is lost so that you can just go to using the web. Chromebooks are now being rolled out in almost every school district in the United States and slowly coming to different locations around the world. And the Chromebook, even in spite of the PC declining, is still the #1 laptop on Amazon in the United States for the last 6 to 9 months. Because if you live your world on the web or in a virtualized environment, then we have to remake the PC experience. We have to make it much simpler, easier, and more beautiful. Google's cloud. Those of you who watch Eurovision in Australia, all the voting on Eurovision was done with Google's cloud as the back end. And at the highest point, it was 50,000 queries per second is what we tested. And for those of you who run data centers, you know that that's a lot. But that's still not the maximum that we've ever had. Actually, the royal wedding was hosted on Google App Engine, so it had a YouTube channel. So when the nuptials were going on, right before the kiss, we saw 200,000 queries per second. So the ability to build highly scalable systems that work anywhere in the world, that you can build your applications, customer-facing or internal applications, really is an advantage that you can bring to the enterprise so that the next generation of systems you build have that point of view. And it's got a very large developer and user community, so over 250,000 developers are now using Google App Engine as their primary platform, including Snapchat. So they don't have to worry about auto-scaling. They went from almost 0 users to 150 million users in 6 months. So imagine having to scale that. They let Google do that scale work. Google Search. Google Search is really moving towards knowledge. So those of you who actually use it on google.com, when you search for something, you also start to see these knowledge cards on the side. So information about something else that's associated with that search. We have about close to 600 million knowledge objects and the connections between things that allows you to then navigate your world through and make it simple and useful. YouTube, which is about every second, 70 minutes of user-generated video is uploaded to our data centers. And so you can imagine us having to create the right capacity and storage and so on to be able to host and make those videos available. Gangnam Style, for those of you who like that. Billion views now, the most popular music video in the world in a very short period of time. And in this technology, we've actually also introduced something called Hangouts on Air, which allows you to broadcast your meeting, whether it's for your customers or your partners or training videos, that you can use as businesses as tools to communicate to a very large audience with 0 investment in technology. Google+, which is the social layer across all our products, which allows you to have a single, consistent interface between our products. 190 million active users, which is actually now the 2nd largest social network in the world. And also the product that actually brings us Hangouts, which is the video conferencing technology I was telling you about. Gmail, well on its way to 500 million users. 5 million businesses now across the world are using Gmail as their primary email and communications platform. And then lastly, a product that I'm really proud of, Google Maps and Earth, both having 1 billion users each. We've spent tremendous amount of energy and money around mapping the world's information. In fact, a lot of that development on Google Maps is done right here in Australia, in Sydney. And getting you from point A to point B, or the traffic, or being able to visualize some place before you go there, go inside buildings, all of those as a platform, and then for you as businesses or the government, being able to create private layers that you can share using the same familiar experience, whether it's mobile or desktop, it really helps you visualize information in a manner that you couldn't do before. And all of these things, all these product investments we are making, right from the beginning, we had a vision to bring them to businesses, to you. We have thousands of people dedicated to the Google Enterprise team that I'm proud to lead. And our mission and our vision is actually quite different. We think technology should be simpler, should be lighter weight. We should do the heavy lifting. The complexity, just like the Google search single bar, should be hidden from the user. And you should be able to use this technology anywhere, on any device, without you having to worry about that. And so we've been building towards that vision, actually started with the Google Search Appliance in 2003. And very methodically, we first bring the products to consumers. We're proud of that. And then once it reaches some critical mass and scale, we start to extend it and expand it and make it available as paid services for businesses. And the solution portfolio is rapidly grown. So products like Google Apps, where you can collaborate and connect through email, video, storage, document management, et cetera, for less than a cup of coffee a month. And that's actually I should have mentioned in the prior slide. We think technology should cost less over time, not more. We think the price on the internet of storage is precipitously fallen. And we think in IT, the cost should go down while the functionality goes up at the same time. That's what we want to, that's what we intend to build and bring to you. Visualize your information on Google Maps and Earth through private layers. Store and analyze building our cloud. So you don't have to spend time in running data centers or buying servers or buying capacity, whether it's compute or storage. We've done that hard work, and we are externalizing all of those services, including all our proprietary APIs for developers around the world to build their applications on. Find anything you need beautifully and simply using Google Search. Have many of you wondered, like when you're on the web, you can search and you get all the information, and you go to work, it's different, you can't find it. You can bring that same experience with algorithms tweaked for businesses to you using the Google Search Appliance. And lastly, our access platforms, both Chrome and Android. Chrome, inside the browser inside businesses, actually is going through a massive acceleration curve. I would definitely suggest you take a look at it. So different solutions for different people who have different industries and so on. Connect, visualize, build, find, and access. And we have detailed breakout sessions through the rest of the day. And we're frankly humbled and proud to say that this movement towards web services delivered at scale on any device has even surprised us. So over 5 million businesses around the world, 58% of the Fortune 500 in the United States, and companies here in the audience, large companies across the world, like Woolworths and Fairfax, who you'll hear from later on, are moving on to these web-based service platforms and creating really, really unique value. And in industries that frankly surprised me. BBVA is one of the largest banks in the world in Europe. IHG is the largest hotel chain in the world. ANA in Japan is one of the largest airlines, and so on. And really this movement is, I think, captured the imagination of professionals everywhere. And when they come, it's not necessarily just about cost. It is going to save you lots of money, and you should do it for that reason. But I think what it gets is this whole movement towards speed. So doing things faster, because you're focused on business, not on running your servers or managing web services. We can do that in many ways better than you could. So Best Buy, really reducing their cost and speed. Roche focusing on saving lives versus running data centers. Or Flight Center, improvement of user satisfaction for people inside the company. So cost, agility, innovation are the reasons why a lot of people are moving in this direction. And to tell you a little bit more about it, I thought we created this video of a company in the United Kingdom called Ocado. It's an online retailer that I think exemplifies how this movement has changed how they work. Please roll the video.
Ocado is the world's largest online-only grocery retailer. Each Ocado building caters to about 600,000 people that can get all the food they need from us every week.
I'm Paul and I head up Ocado Technology.
And I'm Sverker, and I'm in charge of everything we haven't done yet.
We chose Google Apps because we are a 24/7 operation, but we're also a multi-site operation. So we need our employees to be able to access documents, emails, calendar information, and to collaborate whenever and wherever they are. I'm a physicist originally, but I've worked in the software engineering industry all my life. My passion is very much about automation. We're all about making things simple for our customers, but behind that simplicity, there's an immense amount of complexity and technology in order to do what we do. Our business spits out 2.5 megabytes of data every single second. Whenever our customers click on a product, or whenever our vans drive down the road, we're constantly recording those streams of data, and we have to capture that data and be able to process it in a scalable fashion. And one of the key places that we put that is now in the cloud. Using App Engine, we recently built a new version of our Where's My Order application. This allows customers to find out where their order has got to within our production cycle, and once it's on the road, the integration with Google Maps allows them to see exactly where it's got to.
When I'm looking at putting Ocado in other countries, I can see that we can still offer the full range of Ocado services from the cloud, and that's a great advantage to us. We're taking a chore, which is grocery shopping, and we're turning that into quality time with the family.
That's a great story. And there's many others like this that you'll hear later on today, both in the main session as well as in the breakouts. Let me close by sharing with you the excitement we feel about bringing Google's products to the enterprise. We're incredibly serious about this. We have thousands of people, as I mentioned, working on these products. And as you've seen, this movement towards connected devices to web services is very, very real. And most importantly, it offers you magical opportunities that you can reinvent your company and really take it to the next level. So the combination of our products and your ideas can create the same magic that we felt, watching Star Trek 25 years ago. So thank you for coming. Hope you have a great day.